Hi everyone, my name is Lahaina. I'm a U.S. immigration attorney based out of Ashoori Law in Los Angeles, California. Today I wanted to talk to you all about some potential evidence that you could bring to your marriage-based green card interview, also known as the I-130, I-485 interview. This interview typically takes place after you've married a U.S. citizen and this U.S. citizen has submitted a petition to bring you to the United States as their lawful permanent resident spouse. The adjustment of status interview occurs because you are here inside the U.S., whether lawfully or unlawfully. Depending on your immigration history, you are eligible to adjust status, apply for a green card inside the United States. So during this interview, the important part is demonstrating that you and your spouse are in fact in a bona fide marriage. And what that means is that your marriage is legitimate. It's real. You aren't marrying for the sake of getting immigration benefits. And in order to demonstrate that, you need to bring some evidence to the interview. This evidence is all fictional. It's all my own documents I created and pulled together in order to show some items that you all could bring to your interview to help convince the USCIS officer that you are in a real marriage. So to begin, you can see here that social media is great. Selfies are considered to be very intimate in our everyday life, but for the purposes of USCIS, they're actually not that helpful. Selfies are good if you were using it on public media, such as Instagram, Facebook. If you were holding yourself out to be in a real relationship on your social media, that helps a lot. So here I highlighted that this is on Instagram, and you can see here that there are 84 likes. Then we also annotate, and you don't have to do this, but if you want, you can annotate who the petitioner and who the beneficiary is, and then, demonstrate that you are in fact traveling. Maybe you're LA based, but you went to Chicago for a birthday trip or for an anniversary. That shows that you're in a bona fide marriage. You wouldn't travel with your green card husband or wife on their birthday to a different state or a different city for no reason. So social media is great. Again, selfies are considered very intimate in our own lives, but for the purpose of USCIS, they like to see pictures that are of trips outdoors with your friends and family, perhaps being held out in public. If you're standing in front of the Statue of Liberty and that's a selfie, that shows that maybe you want a trip together. But if you're in your house, poorly lit photos indoors, those do not serve well for purposes of demonstrating a real marriage. So moving on, like I said, showing photos with friends and family is really great. So here you can see the petitioner, myself, and the beneficiary, and I label here that this is my family, and it's actually published on a different person's Instagram. In this case, it would have been my father. Here I annotate that this is my sister's husband, a family friend, and when you start showing that you and your partner are being held out as a legitimate couple in public and also introducing them to your friends and family, this really helps support your application. Again, the more you can demonstrate that your application, that you and your partner are showing a relationship off in public and to all friends and family, this really helps show a bona fide relationship and supports your application. Here would have been my partner's sister and her Instagram, and she posted a trip and also demonstrates that there was traveling involved, and we highlighted here that the photo was taken in Ohio. Texts between you and your partner are great evidence. You don't send selfies or restaurant recommendations to your fake husband, you send that to your real husband. Here you would also show, things like, let's go to Trader Joe's and pick up guacamole and sausages or whatever. You don't tell your fake husband what items to grab from the grocery store, or you don't ask your fake husband what you're doing on Friday night. You only ask this of your real spouse. So when you can demonstrate that, it really does support your bona fide marriage. If you can get dates based off the screenshot conversations, that's great as well. So that was highlighted here. Again, with my example of showing a grocery list communication, that really helps. If you bought gifts for your partner, nice gifts, expensive gifts for whatever occasion, if you want to annotate the occasion on your bona fide evidence packet, that's great as well. Officers don't want too much evidence. They don't want to add an album to their file. They just want a few photos, a description to help support that why they want to prove your case. So just here you can see this packet's 11 pages, but it's very, very dense with real information. Here I show a very expensive wedding ring. I show a receipt for an expensive, pair of shoes or bag for $700. You wouldn't buy your fake husband or fake wife a $2,000 ring or a $700 bag. Here, putting evidence of when it happened, showing photos that go along with the gifts are really, really great and very convincing. If you took trips with your partner, show evidence of the trips. So corresponding social media along with receipts to show that you went on the vacation. If your name is on the receipts, that's even better. The most common evidence and the traditional evidence is bills. This is something USCIS officers love seeing because it is, like I said, the most common kind. But make sure that if you submit bills, it's not just your name. Some of our clients think that they have the same address and then it's two separate bills. That's good. Honestly, officers want it to be easy. So both your names should be on the bill. Otherwise, it's probably not going to help your case that much. Here you can see it's been highlighted that both the petitioner and beneficiary have their names on the same bill and are living at the same address. The bills, bank statements are really important. If you submit any bank statements, like I said, this is one of the most common type of evidence. Make sure that the bank is actually being utilized. The bank accounts that are being unused don't look real. If you can show transactions of dates that you guys went on, then highlight those. You go to an expensive dinner, you went on a trip, like I said, Airbnb to San Diego, highlight that. Put those in red, mark it in yellow for the USCIS officer to see that this is a real bank account used towards a real couple for real things. So again, here's another fake bill. This bill needs to show both the beneficiary and the petitioner's address. Highlight the dates of when they were, so ideally it would be in the course of the marriage. If it's not in the course of marriage, evidence from before you were married is great as well, because you don't make bills or commit to any type of bank accounts with someone that you're not going to share your life with, whether you're married or not. This is a fake lease agreement. Lease agreements along with bills and bank statements are some of the most common types of bona fide evidence asked for by USCIS officers. So this lease agreement has both the names. Make sure it shows the address that you're living at, shows the date when it was executed. It shows, both the beneficiary and the petitioner. If only one person's name is on the lease, it's not probative of a bona fide marriage. If you don't have that evidence, it's okay, just compensate elsewhere. So let's say you have no bills, no lease. That's fine. You have a very strong social media presence, submit those. You have a lot of great receipts of gifts, a lot of love letters, submit those instead. So it's all cumulative. There's no master checklist of what kind of evidence is required for the purposes of demonstrating a bona fide marriage. Lastly, if your case isn't that strong and you don't have a lot of evidence that we outlined here, you can have an affidavit written. An affidavit is a letter that supports that the marriage is real by your friends or family who know you firsthand, who know you and the foreign national from their personal experiences. I like this letter a lot that I put here. This is a real letter that one of our clients wrote that we've redacted, and it's great because it's really simple. There's nothing here that makes you think this person is lying. They're just talking about casual interactions about how her child calls the foreign national uncle and how she sees how this man has really enriched her sister's life. Anything can be in these letters. It's just an honest testimony as to what they believe is a true and bona fide marriage. These are not required. Again, nothing in this packet is an absolute. It's a cumulative collection of different types of evidence that you can submit. So you can get really creative, but if your evidence is weaker, I would definitely consider adding an affidavit from friends and family. If you have any questions regarding the substance of this video, feel free to reach out to us. Our info is down below, and like and subscribe and let us know what other topics you'd like to hear from us. Thank you.